Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm here with another art tutorial. Today we're going to talk about an essential aspect of digital art and art in general, which are shadows and lighting. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to effectively determine and apply shadows and lights in a drawing. The principles we'll discuss are applicable whether you're working in 2D or 3D and will help you better to understand how to create compelling lighting effects in your artwork. First, let's start with some basics. Light is the foundation of shadows and lighting, and the most important thing to understand is that light travels in straight lines and it's bounced off a surface. When a light source hits an object, the light scatters, which creates highlights and shadows. The direction and intensity of light are key factors in how shadows appear. But there are other factors like bounce light, which is light that is bounced off the environment onto the object. Another important aspect in a drawing is understanding the source of light in your artwork, so you can create better shadows, highlights, and depth. To start off, let's talk about identifying sources of light in any given scene. Whether it's a picture or imagination, understanding how the light source affects the rest of the scene is crucial for proper lighting and shadow placement. Before you start adding shadows in your art, it's important to understand the direction of the light. To determine the direction of the light, let's imagine a light source. Let's say a light bulb is placed in the upper left corner of the art you're creating. The shadows will depend on how it hits the object, creating shadows underneath the object or objects as needed. This means the shadows will fall in the opposite direction of the light source. To better determine where shadows should be placed, it's essential to know where the light source is coming from, as it guides the placement of shadows and highlights. Another example, if the light source is coming from the side, the object's other side will have more shadows and highlights, and the object's front will have less shadows and highlights. This is something you'll have to experiment with and get a feel for, as it varies with every scene. By understanding how light hits objects in the scene, we can also determine where the highlights will be, where the light is reflecting off the object, which is a critical element of drawing and painting. And that's it. You've got the core steps to master shadows and lights in your digital art. But remember, like anything in art, this takes practice. Always remember, when practicing, use reference photos. Real-life lighting is complex, so observing how light wraps around real objects will train your eye over time. Also, don't be afraid to experiment with multiple light sources or colored lighting for moodier pieces like fantasy scenes or dramatic portraits. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another art tip. Thanks for watching. Bye!